Now, have you ever noticed that no matter how much you earn, your salary will never be enough? When you are starting, especially when you get a job, your first job, you are paid 20,000, and then that money, when you spend it, when you get that pay slip, you are overjoyed. But after getting the salary, you realize that after something like 10 days, it's over. You are broke. By date 15, date 10, you are broke after paying expenses, especially rent. Now, the second month, when you earn, you realize that the salary is becoming smaller. The expenses are the same, but salary is becoming smaller. Then you say, if I get this money, if they add me, let's say 20,000 more, I will never cry again. I'll never suffer. The money will be enough. Then one day, after a few years, the employer adds you, let's say 50,000. Now you are earning something like 70 to 80,000. Say, now I'll never complain. Now the problem, most people, when you salary is increasing, when you get the pay rise, you shift from your current house to a more expensive house. If you are paying 15,000, now you pay 30,000. You want to go to relocate to area where your class is. When the salary increases, start thinking of how you own a car. You go and get a loan, you buy a car. When that salary is increased, you get more friends, new friends, who will take you to where they sell expensive alcohol. Now, after a few months, you realize that your 80,000 is peanuts. It's not enough. It cannot sustain you because expenses have increased. You say, you start complaining that now the employer is not paying you well. You start mobilizing others for salary increment. They increase to 100,000. You remain there. You don't relocate. After 2 or 3 months, you then realize again the money is not enough. You decide to go to school to pursue masters and a professional course so that you can be promoted at work and earn more salary. Then, after completing your school, your employer recognizes that now you are a serious person, you are more qualified, they promote you. After promotion, you are now earning 200,000. You decide to upgrade, to move to estate where people earning 200,000 live. In that estate, you realize that people drive some cars, specific type of cars. You decide to trade in and get a new car, a more expensive car, which consumes more fuel. When you, at this age now, you are getting old, you decide to get married. And once you marry, that is where problems get added. You get more responsibilities, more bills to pay. So throughout this journey, you realize that after 10 to 15 years, you have not done anything. All that you have done is to pay bills, to buy that small car, and to go to school, and to marry and have children, and pay school fees for them. So, what happens at this age? You are now 40 or 45 years, you have not built your own house. You look around in your office, you are getting older. All those people who are there are younger than you. It's you and your boss who are a bit older. Within short period, some of those people become your seniors or your bosses. And now, you have not done anything. You are paying rent 30,000 or 35,000. You are paying school fees, and the salary you are paid 250,000 is not enough. You save 2 to 3 months. You invest in money market fund, fixed deposit account, cryptocurrency, but the money is not enough. You invest 3 months, you realize that there's something that needs money urgently. You end up withdrawing that money and spending it. So that is how employment is. It is very, very difficult to invest when you are employed. And if you don't realize earlier, you reach 50 years, you are in a rental house with your 4 children, your wife, you don't have a home, your job, you are told you'll be fired because they want to restructure. And then since your salary is too high, you cannot get a job elsewhere. So what will you do? You are now 50 years, you cannot get entry-level jobs, and you are exhausted. All that you have done is to pay rent all these years and to buy a small car and to have children. So that is a mistake most people do or make when they get a job. And that's why you are always broke, even if you have a good job. So the best thing to do when you get employed, your first job, yeah, earning 30,000, they add you 20,000 up to 50,000. If you get salary increment, don't upgrade. Don't move to a more expensive house. If the house you are living in is comfortable, remain there. Immediately you get employed, look for investment opportunities. Look for saving opportunities. Because you are young, you are maybe 25 years. Avoid buying a car at that moment, because that's an expense. And if possible, avoid getting married at 20-something years, if possible, because your wife will come with more expenses, and the children, the moment children come, you start paying fees. So once you do that, immediately you get a job. Just work for a few months, you can take a loan and build your own home in your maybe 26 years. That one, even if you pay for that loan for 7 years, if you got the job at 26 plus 7, that is how many years? That is up to 33 years. You are not old. So you find at 33 you have a home, you have completed paying that loan, and then you can decide on a business you can do to boost your income. So once you have extra income, that is when you will decide to shift, to upgrade you have your home, you have your income, you can decide now to buy a car, to park outside your home. And then you can also decide to marry. The worst thing you can do is to be in a rented house in advanced age, 50 years and above. It looks awkward and you look out of place. You find that in that apartment, all those people living there are young. They are 25 years, 26 years. At this age, you want to live in a quiet place. But people are, they are playing loud music. That time, in that small house, water comes once a week. And you start scrambling for the few. So, if you don't plan early, you find that your salary will never be enough. And there are things I usually see. In your 20s, there are people, when they get a job, they are so excited. They go to advertise themselves, to tell their relatives that I'm earning this salary. Now I'm coming to help you. Now you are helping the whole community. You go to, if there's a church function, you are there. This WhatsApp group, you are added, you contribute. If there's a function in your school, you must be there. If there's a function, you must be there. You are wasting your money. If you want to grow, just hide for some time until you meet your objectives, you meet your targets. You can hide from 27 years when you get a job, or 26 years, up to 35 years. Now, when you reach 35, that is when you start contributing, when you are financially stable. So that is the greatest mistake most people make. They don't want people to say that they're bad people, they don't contribute. Be stingy so that you can grow. So I was almost in the same trap, but I realized that I was losing a lot of money to people who don't appreciate. So if you rectify those things, you realize that at the age of 40, you are earning decent income and you are never broke. If you fix those small things. And I know there are so many people employed who can relate to this. You are ever broke. If you sit down and try to figure out where you waste your money, you realize that you say the alcohol, women, you are living beyond your means. The rent you are paying is taking at least a third of your money. You are too generous to your friends and family members. So all those small things. You also have a car which consumes a lot of fuel. Don't brag that you want to brag to people that you have a very big car so that they can fear you. No, even if they fear you, it's your pocket which is suffering. If at all you must buy a car, buy a small one that will take you from point A to point B, which can consume fuel which is equivalent to the fare that you're going to pay to commute. So those are the small things that people do that make them not save any money, not to invest, and old age find them in apartments where they now struggle to pay, and finally they are chased to the village and they are not able to fit in.